Buried deep within the wooded outskirts of West Milford, New Jersey, lies a forsaken circle of homes known as Demon's Alley. Abandoned abruptly in the early 1900s and shrouded in chilling tales of cults, dark rituals, and demonic figures, this is one story where the boundary between legend and reality is not just blurred, it's non-existent. Brace yourselves, for we are about to step into a world where nightmares walk among us.
Okay, we're in Pete Katsos's hearse right now. And Pete, why don't you tell us where you're taking us?
Okay, we're going to Demon's Alley right now. It's an abandoned neighborhood. Years ago, it used to be like any other neighborhood. All of a sudden, everybody just got up and took off. And nobody knows why. They left all their stuff behind. In some cases, they left food on the table. So it's a real spooky place.
Greetings, shadow dwellers and seekers of the unexplained. I am your host, Ambrose Ironwood, and tonight we step beyond the veil of the ordinary to explore a place where reality wanes and whispers of horror resound. A decrepit ghost town hidden deep within the woods of West Milford, New Jersey, Demon's Alley. Imagine, if you will, a secluded settlement off of Route 23, comprised of 6 houses forming a perfect circle around a central, ominous water tower. Now, picture that this forsaken place was abandoned as if overnight, for reasons that elude even the most diligent researchers.
Demon's Alley is a road in West Milford, New Jersey, which includes about a half a dozen abandoned houses. The property is owned by the Newark Watershed Commission and is posted and patrolled. Trespassers will be prosecuted when caught roaming the grounds. The houses that are left standing have the doors boarded up and the windows painted black, with painted-on curtains and painted-on pull strings. Even more creepy, the houses of Demon's Alley still have the people's possessions that once resided there, left inside the houses. Turn-of-the-century furniture, dolls, and kitchenware, as if those who once resided there escaped in the middle of the night, leaving everything behind. The most popular story of what exactly happened at Demon's Alley goes as follows. A mysterious man moved into the town in the early 1920s, who seemed to be a typical person and a normal resident. Shortly after his arrival, weird things started happening, seemingly just small pranks. The residents suspected that it was kids playing jokes on the odd street. The mysterious new resident decided to hold a town meeting at his house to decide what to do about these pranksters. Little did the small community know about this man's history or the plans for all the people of the town. The mysterious man had been a cult leader in the Midwest and had a large following of members. He had perpetrated the pranks in a plot to get all the town members together under the roof of his home. Once all were gathered in the downstairs, cult members stampeded from the upper level and engaged in a massacre of every member in town. After their demonic ritual was complete, the cult fled and were never caught. As the years went by, the streets were cut off from any main roads, and the abandoned houses were taken over by the dense New Jersey woods. There are other variations of this story, but most circle back to a cult who killed everyone on the block before vanishing into the woods. However, there are even some accounts that are even more unsettling and otherworldly.
Some claim it was a cult that took over these homes. Others whisper of ungodly experiments, paranormal occurrences, and dark rituals. In 1985, a local newspaper documented the accounts of Annie Thompson, a former resident. Annie spoke of a close-knit, almost fanatical community. Unusual symbols adorned the doors, she said, and nocturnal gatherings were commonplace, but the most bone-chilling detail, a description of a dark figure that the community supposedly revered. In the depths of her memories, Annie recalls a figure so unsettling that it continues to haunt her dreams. She described it as a dark figure, humanoid but not quite human. With elongated limbs and fingers that seemed to taper into shadow itself, it appeared at the communal gatherings, always at the periphery, lurking yet ever present. Eyes, it had none, or at least none that could be seen, just an abyss of darkness where a face should have been. But what petrified Annie the most was not its form, but the aura it radiated, an oppressive energy that seemed to suffocate the air around it, so thick that it felt almost tangible. The community never spoke its name, if it even had one. They would merely lower their heads in a mix of reverence and indescribable dread when it appeared. Annie told the newspapers that some residents claimed to have heard it whisper, a cacophony of voices speaking in indecipherable tongues, sending chills down the spines of even the most devout among them. According to Annie, this dark figure was neither questioned nor discussed openly. It was their unspeakable secret, their feared deity. And with each gathering, the figure seemed to grow in form, as if it was feeding off the collective fears of the community itself. And so when Annie talks of Demon's Alley, her voice wavers, her eyes glaze over, and she utters an unsettling caveat. The dark figure, though no longer visible, is far from gone. It waits, she believes, for a new circle, a new gathering to summon it back into our world. Fast forward to 1992, two hunters from Paterson, New Jersey stumbled upon the eerie locale. They reported that the houses looked hastily abandoned, as if their inhabitants left in a state of dire urgency. Tables were set, clothes were left in closets, but the most distressing discovery was the absence of mirrors. Every reflective surface had been meticulously removed or destroyed. Theories abound about why this village was forsaken. Some believe the residents reached a cataclysmic end in a ritual gone awry. Others surmise they fled, tormented by the very demon they once worshipped. Official records are sketchy at best. The local authorities downplay the ominous rumors, dismissing them as mere urban legends. But then again, what are urban legends, if not the whispers of truths too horrifying to accept? Those who've ventured close to Demon's Alley have reported hearing wailing voices in the wind and seeing shadows flitting across dilapidated windows. The skeptics among you might dismiss it as mere figments of the imagination, but can you truly afford to make that gamble? I am Ambrose Ironwood, bidding you to tread carefully on the roads less traveled, especially if they lead to places where demons tread. Until we meet again, may your nights be dark, but your dreams darker still.